What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to another episode of the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This is episode number 29, and in the last episode, after defeating the Great Bay Temple, we had some optional collection activities like heart pieces and things, and there's quite a bit more that we can do, but I want to progress with the storyline a little bit more before we do that, because more things will become available to us after we have the Warp Point Owl statue for Ikana Canyon, which is to the east of Clocktown, even though I'm going to go out the south door here. So we're going to do that today. I think that's all we're going to do. We may do some stuff with the music house, music box house, or whatever it's called. So that's that. Anyway, as we're getting started today, just a friendly reminder in case you guys haven't done so already, and you would care to show your support to the channel and the series and all that fun stuff, you can do so by clicking that like button right below this video, or you can leave your thoughts in the comment section below. As I was reading the comments from the last episode, it seemed like you guys were really happy that the series has made a return, which is awesome. I'm really glad that you guys are still enjoying and waiting on episodes of this. Because it is kind of like a side project on the channel, but honestly, I really missed recording this too. And it kind of works out that it's just coming back, you know, this week because the 3DS remake of Majora's Mask is coming out within a matter of days, if it's not out already by the time this video goes up. So, I don't know how closely it's going to be, you know, to the original, which is what I'm playing, but I don't know, you can kind of use it as a guide, I guess. If you're looking for secrets and whatnot, who knows? Okay, so we have Epona. We need Epona to be able to jump over the gates slash fences that we need to progress here. So, yeah, you kind of have to have Epona. Just play Epona's song and hop on, and we can ride through all of these real bomb chews. We're immune to all kinds of damage while we're riding her, so don't worry about them. And actually, before you can do this, this is the time of the game where you would actually be required to go get the Garrow's Mask. We did this several episodes ago. If I remember, I'll try to link in the description below the episode that we got the Garrow's Mask, in case you either didn't watch that episode or you don't remember what exactly was going on. But you can't pass here until you get that. So make sure you have this mask, but once you do, you want to pull that out as well as the hook shot that we got in the Pirate's Fortress. Put on the Garrow's Mask and talk to this person right here, this creepy looking guy. That's a nice mask you're wearing. That is the mask of the leader of the ninjas who once spied on the hilltop castle with the blood-stained history. It's so creepy. With that, you may be able to call out their spirits that even now are still wandering. Perhaps you may be able to save the souls that wander beyond here. So creepy! Oh my goodness. We're actually going to run into this character again a little bit later on in another optional event. But yeah, that's not for right now, so we'll be doing that later on. Let's go ahead and hookshot up onto this little tree thingamajig. By tree, I mean branch. And there's really nothing else around here. So we can just put on our bunny hood and hopefully not run into these things that explode that come out of the ground, like those guys. Oh, I just ran into him. They don't actually explode if you run into them like that, but they do explode if you use a bomb or try to shoot them with arrows, I think, because they're like made of gunpowder or something. I don't know. I'm just running by them because I don't really care that much. So we finally made it to Ikana Canyon. Exciting stuff. Now, this is actually like a two-level part here. As you can see, most of it is up on top of that cliff, which we'll need to cross the river to do that. But, you know, there's always other things to do. The title says that don't you have a mask that can summon the unseen? Apparently there are hidden spirits here. If you pull out the Garrow's Mask, you can actually call out a real Garrow, who thinks that you're his master for a second, and then once he realizes that he's not, that you're not, he's gonna attack you, and you can't escape. You have to kill him. It's said that it's a Garrow, just concentrate on blocking and dodging those swords. So, yeah, one hit from the Gilded Sword should take it out. So just guard when he jumps at you, and a jump attack will get rid of him. Then we can talk to him, and he gives you some advice. Regrettable, although my rival, you are outstanding. I shall take my bow by opening my heart and revealing my wisdom. To cross the Valley of Ikana, aim at the river beasts with the arrowhead that freezes. The river beasts being Octoroks, of course. Belief or disbelief rests with you. To die without leaving a corpse, that is the way of us Garrow. So, yeah. There's going to be areas where you can summon Garrow all over the Ikana Canyon. But they really just give you hints, so it's completely optional. Let's talk to Sakon the Thief here. You know, lately, frightening ghosts have been appearing in swarms. Seems they're the ghosts of Ikana's royal family or something. There's no one living there anymore, so I moved nearby. Well, that's suspicious. Very suspicious. Now there's only a curious parent and child living there while they research the ghost. Did I mention that is one nice sword? You did not mention that. Can I see it for a second? No. Oh, fine. Even if you say yes, Tattle will not allow you to give him your sword. So, it doesn't matter what you say. Let's see what this says. Ikana buttes across the canyon, beware of Octoroks. So the only way to get to the platform on the other side is by using the ice arrows to freeze the Octoroks and then jump on their heads, much like we did in the Great Bay Temple. Now, the area to the right over here is something that we can't really do anything with yet, so I'm just going to skip over that for now, and we're going to go right ahead and cross the river here. Hopefully, I don't get knocked off by this guy. Oh, never mind. I forgot you get pushed backwards once you get hit by one of their little pellets. So that didn't work out well. And I can't even see him from there. And I wasted an arrow. Okay, this is just going great so far. Okay, let's freeze you. Okay. And yeah, we'll do it a little bit backwards. We'll freeze the second one first. You do have plenty of time to get across, though, so it's not like you're going to be pressed for time. They're frozen for, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds. Kind of a long time. Then we can use our hook shot on the tree branches once we cross the way here. And we should be able to go up. Where exactly is the next branch? I must be standing in a really bad spot to not be able to see it. It's here somewhere. Where is it? What in the world? Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, am I really just missing where this tree branch is? Or did something glitch out and I'm just not being able to see it? I've had weird things like that happen to me before, where things that you're supposed to be finding are glitching out like through walls and things. Because it's the Nintendo 64, and that's just what happens. Things glitched. Alright, now that we've reached the top, there's a little fairy here. You can put him in a bottle if you want. But most importantly, we can activate this owl statue, which means we can now warp here, and we don't have to do any of that over again. Although, every time we warp to Ikana Canyon and we want to do something that's in the lower half, we're going to just have to literally jump off a cliff into the waterfall. So, yeah. Now, as for enemies around here, we do have these guais, or guays, however you want to pronounce it, that keep respawning. Once we get a different type of arrow, we can actually get like 50 rupees every time we kill them. Now, you do have to use a lot of magic to do that. We don't have the arrows anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Ice arrows and fire arrows don't do that for you. You still only get the normal amount. As for this house over here, you notice there's some creepy mummy-looking creatures going across. These are called Gibdos, and they function very similar to Redeads. Kind of difficult to kill, but not with the gilded sword, so you can just slash them a couple times and they go down. An interesting thing, they're suspiciously similar to Redead, so if you shoot one with a fire arrow, you can actually burn off their little garb there and reveal that they are, in fact, Redeads. It's the same thing. So that's why their attack of kind of screaming at you to paralyze you and then jumping on the back of your head and eating you is exactly the same. So I don't know how many fire arrows it takes to kill. Just out of curiosity here, that's 3. Jeez, these things take a lot of hits. 4. Okay, so it takes 4 fire arrows to kill these things, and only a couple seconds with the gilded sword, so yeah. Now, you don't really have to kill these at this point. Actually, you don't really have to kill them at all. Keep away from our house. My father is not one of you. Okay. We're going to deal with that a little bit later. We can't do anything with that right now. We actually have to activate the river again. As you notice, it's all dry in here. There's supposed to be water. We have to activate that before we can do anything with this music house. So we'll be doing that in a few minutes, actually. I want to do that in this episode. So, for some reason, I just felt like I wanted to kill all these things. They don't actually give you anything. You don't get any rupees or arrows or magic, or you get no reward whatsoever. It's kind of sad. But they're kind of fun to kill at the same time, because if you hit them from behind, they can't turn around fast enough before you kill them. Now, before we move on, Tingle is just chilling right here, and we want to shoot him down. And I think I have enough rupees to get the Stone Tower map. It should only be 20 rupees. Hoping it's not 30. What's this? Green clothes, white fairy. Sir, could you by chance be a forest fairy? That's right. Tingle always says the exact same thing every time, so we can just skip through that text. Not going to keep reading it. Let's see what you have. We have Clocktown and Stone Tower is only 20 rupees, as I suspected, so we can buy the map for that. We're not going to have to use it for quite a while. Because now that we're here, a whole slew of optional events, including some extra required events before we even get to the temple, are, standing in the way. So I couldn't think of the word that I wanted to use there. So yeah, we have time. So if you're following along using this as a guide, you don't have to buy that at this moment. I just wanted to do it since we were there. Now that well we just passed is where we need to get our next item before we can enter the temple. And there's actually more stuff that we have to do before we get to the temple, but, try to take it slow. Pamela, who lives in the music box house, comes out every 2 minutes when the music box is playing, but it seems she will also come out if she hears a bomb explode. So this is where having the Mask of Truth kind of helps, because you can get some helpful hints. You can also get helpful hints from Garrow that are around here. By using the Garrow's mask and defeating them in battle to get whatever hints that they may have. Now, in here is where we need to go to restore the river. So, you do need to have the Song of Storms to be able to do this. You'd get that in the graveyard from Flat, the ghost. And we did that already, too. So, that was in a previous episode a while back. Probably right after we got Epona. Now, once we enter... It's very creepy in here. What business have you in Ikana Kingdom, land where only the dead roam? That's right, a dead guy is talking to us. Kind of. A ghost, which I guess is the same thing as a dead guy. Look at him waving his wand around. Looks angry. This is no place for one as full of life as you. Or do you say that you wish to join the dead? No, I did not say anything, in fact. That is fine. If that is the case, then sleep gently to the melody of darkness that the great composer Sharp shall play, and join the ranks of the dead. So, it's very fitting that we learned the Song of Storms from Flat in the graveyard, who is, just so happens to be his brother. They also happen to very closely resemble Mario and Luigi, as one is, a little bit taller and thinner, and one is shorter and... a little bit more plump, and one is red and one is green, and they have the mustaches and everything. It's so obvious. No, it can't be. The song. So if you don't have the song, you can just walk out, but you do get hurt a bunch. So it's not worth it to even attempt to go in here if you don't have the Song of Storms at your disposal. After you play it, he kind of just freaks out and disappears, and the water will refill. The water will run out to where the music box house is, and it'll actually start to play its music again, because apparently it's water powered. I mean, I guess you could tell that because it's got a little water wheel on the side. The point of the music of this is to keep the Gibdos away, because they just circle and circle this house, and they've actually taken the little girl's father prisoner. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. So now we have this really awkward scene of the Gibdos essentially dying thanks to the music, which I don't exactly understand how that works, but it's kind of cool to watch them suffer. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. They're just freaking out. It's just weird. Very strange. And it causes earthquakes. They get sucked into the ground. Goodbye, Gibdos. So long. We'll be running into a lot more of these guys, but we're about to get a mask that actually is going to help us a lot and keep them from attacking us, so that's kind of cool. We don't have to worry about getting our brains eaten out. because we want to keep those. We're just a kid. We have so much growing to do, so much life. Flat, my dear brother, forgive your foolish brother who dreamt of the revival of the royal family. Ye who do not fear the dead. With my brother's song, you have broken the curse that was placed upon me. It is all thanks to you. We dead should not be lingering here in this land. It was all a trick of the masked one who had upset things, aka Skull Kid. Evil mastermind. If you truly do not fear the dead, I wish for you to go to the temple in this land and sever the root of the evil curse that torments us. We have a lot to do before we can get there, unfortunately. To do that... Yes, do tell me. I, the only one who knows the way into the temple, shall direct you to the king. Okay, so we have to see the king of Ikana before we can go into the temple. The king is in the ruins of Ikana Castle, awaiting the coming of the one who will break the curse. I have made my final request. So, we need to find a way to get into Ikana Castle, which was just out there in that little lobby area, but the entrance is actually blocked. So, we need to get another item before we can even enter that, and that involves a whole trading sequence in the bottom of the well, which I don't know if I'm going to do that next episode, or it's going to be one of the upcoming episodes, where we do that and get that item, which it's kind of like a dungeon item, I guess. It's something we'll be using in the rest of the game. We're going to use it a lot in the upcoming temple as well. But I don't want to speak too much about it because yeah, we should just wait and enjoy things as they come along. Now, we have to figure out a way to get into the music box house. That's the last thing that we have to do with this little house thing. When she comes outside, which is every 2 minutes, as the Gossip Stone told us, she'll run away if she sees you at all. So you'd have to be able to scoot by her. But she does come outside if she hears bombs. You can use the blast mask or just your own bombs. And if you're within sight, obviously, she is going to see you and run inside. Now, I don't know if I want to wait for the mask to reload again, because it takes a few seconds. But one trick that I found that you can use is, instead of trying to fool her, you could just wear the stone mask, because that makes you oblivious to just about everything. So she'll come out and look right at you, essentially, and you can walk right by her and she doesn't care. And you can just go in her house, because now the door is unlocked. So there's nothing that we can do up on the top floor of the house, so we're going to go down into the lower floor. And you want to make sure you have your ocarina out here, because you're going to need it. As soon as you approach the cupboard here, her father is going to emerge, and he's like half Gibdo mummy thing, and the boss music starts to play and everything. So you can't really do anything, you can't slice them or anything, that doesn't really help. So you're just going to play the Song of Healing, which heals souls and turns, you know, troubled souls into masks. We're not going to get a transformation mask like we have in the previous couple of areas, but we are going to get something called the Gibdo mask, which I'll go over in a second here. Father? Oh, now Pamela is inside, apparently. Where'd she come from? So father and daughter are reunited, and he's no longer a Gibdo. What have I been doing this whole time? You haven't been doing anything. You had a bad dream. You were just having a little nightmare. I don't think he buys that. But we're going to leave them alone, and we'll get out of here. There's nothing else that we can do in here except pick up our lovely Gibdo mask. Doesn't turn us into a mummy, just makes us look kind of scary. You got the Gibdo mask. This mask was once the hideous face of Pamela's father. This mask looks so real that even a Gibdo would mistake you as one of its own. So you can actually talk to Gibdos while you're wearing the mask, and Re-Deads won't attack you, because they're, you know, essentially the same thing. So that's going to be useful for the bottom of the well. You have to do this before you attempt to get the item that is in the well. So make sure you do that first, if you are following along, of course. But we are going to call it an episode here. I know it's a little bit of a short one, only just about 20 minutes. But this is a good place to stop. Next time, we will either go right into the well and go after that item, or we'll do some of the other optional events that are now available to us with that owl statue. So I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure you're leaving a like rating or a comment or whatever you would like to do. And I will see you all next time. And until then, game on.